So it's important to note here that a theme is not the same as a moral. Chekhov wrote that the artist is not required to solve problems, merely to formulate them correctly. A moral is simple, didactic, kindness is good, it's important to help strangers. Themes are open-ended, curious, exploratory. If morals tell, themes show. Morals are a foregone conclusion. Themes invite surprise. Writers think of themes as something fancy, a filigree that you add to make your work more fancy, like an elaborate hat. But I would argue that theme is more like the skeleton of a nonfiction narrative than the clothes it wears. Theme creates structure. It tells you what must go in and what can be left out. It instructs you as to where to place your beginning, middle, and end. It is the axis on which the story spins, the core of meaning that unifies the narrative. It is the thread that leads you to the center of the maze and out again. Now, of course, there are lots of interesting ways to highlight theme using symbols and metaphors and images and carefully chosen anecdotes and scenes. These are all terrific tools, assuming they're done well. But you don't need to do any fancy footwork to have a theme. You just need to know what you're interested in. That can take time. Theme isn't always obvious when you're working on a piece of nonfiction. Often it has to be excavated and discovered. You have to teach your brain to recognize it. So I am going to try and teach you how to do that, how to clarify your vision so that when the themes begin to surface, you can say, that. So let's return to labyrinths for a moment. There are actually two different kinds. The first is a puzzle, full of wrong turns and dead ends. The objective in this kind of labyrinth or maze is to find your way out. There's also a second kind of labyrinth. This kind of labyrinth is defined by the Labyrinth Society, my new favorite people, as a meandering path leading to a center. There are no wrong turns, just winding ones. The objective in this kind of labyrinth is to travel the path as it leads you both literally and metaphorically inward. These kinds of labyrinths have been used for thousands of years as a walking meditation, a choreographed, this is the Labyrinth Society again, a walking meditation, a choreographed dance, or a site of rituals and ceremonies, among other things. The path has been set out for you in the hope that the act of moving through it will move your thoughts in a particular way. They have these labyrinths on the floors of cathedrals. You can find them out in nature where people have built them. It's this sort of universal process of walking a path that has been set out for you, which you cannot deviate from, and yet is not the shortest distance between 2 points. It is going to, by definition, meander. The path that has been set out for you is hoping to move, that in moving through it, your thoughts will move in a particular way. Theme, I believe, is both kinds of labyrinth. The first kind, the maze, is the process of writing. The second kind of labyrinth is the process of reading. Your job as a writer is to take the maze of dead ends and wrong turns and interesting but not relevant facts, that is your raw material, and convert it into a shapely labyrinth that will lead your reader through a contemplation of the topic at hand. As readers walk the labyrinth that you have constructed, their brains will make the connections and conclusions that you have set out for them. And when you have done it well, readers will feel that they did it on their own, and it will feel wonderful.